You already know your blues scale. Hopefully you know your major scales and some minor scales. But there's a scale you probably don't know, or at least you aren't using yet, that can transform the way you improvise in every style of music, making you sound better, more modern. Best of all, it's ridiculously easy to learn and start using right away. My name is Jay Metcalf. I'm the founder of the Better Sax line of saxophones and saxophone accessories that are made for saxophonists by saxophonists. And I've also taught tens of thousands of saxophone players of all levels here on YouTube and in our amazing Better Sax courses. This lesson comes directly from our brand new course, Blues Evolution, which is taught by one of my all-time favorite saxophonists, Vincent Herring. First, let's listen to Vincent improvising using only this scale I'm going to share with you on a blues progression. Notice that the blues scale is not being used in these examples. Typically, students start out learning the blues scale and applying that over everything.
Remember when I learned how to play as a kid, and you too, and you got that blues scale, and it was over, man.
While there is nothing technically wrong with doing this per se, it leads to a range of bad habits that tend to hold students back, sometimes for years. The scale we want you to learn is called the dominant pentatonic scale. It has 5 notes in it, like the major and minor pentatonic scales you may already be familiar with, but this scale works particularly well over dominant 7 chords, like the ones you typically find in blues progressions. I'm going to demonstrate playing the scale over a standard 12-bar blues progression. Please feel free to play along with me or practice this on your own. That's just the first step. We identify the dominant pentatonic scale that works for each chord in our progression, and then we practice moving between these 3 scales as we go. Now, once we get those scales under our fingers, we can begin improvising using the scale. Every note in that example is using this very simple technique. Only 5 notes per chord, only 3 chords are being used, yet it sounds much more sophisticated and complex than it looks on paper. That is really the secret to sounding good when playing jazz and improvising. You don't need a ton of notes or to get very complicated to sound great. Now, this technique doesn't just work on the blues progression. It can be applied to many other chord progressions and musical styles. Pop and rock music in particular have a lot of dominant 7 chords where this can be used very effectively. Have a listen to another example in a different musical context of this dominant pentatonic scale in action. This technique of using the dominant pentatonic scale as an improvisational tool is just the beginning of what gets covered in detail in Vincent's new Better Sax course, Blues Evolution. It really is the story of how we can evolve our playing beyond the basics, how we can learn to skillfully navigate through chords and play with confidence. And it's a course about developing a more sophisticated approach to improvising that is actually based in simplicity. It is such an honor to work with one of my musical heroes on this project, and I'm so happy to be able to share this resource with you. What a difference this would have made for me when I was in the early stages of learning to improvise. Having one of the great masters of the saxophone and jazz improvisation share their detailed thought process and how their approach has evolved over decades is immeasurably valuable. But we're providing it here in an easy to digest course format, along with backing tracks and a PDF guidebook. There's also some bonus content from Vincent you're not going to want to miss. I put a link in the description to where you can enroll, and we will be offering a special discount for the launch. So if you see a coupon code next to the link, be sure to use it. Vincent Herring is a walking treasure trove of saxophone information. I sat down for an interview with him that you can watch here next.